Randy McKee here at Soccer 605. I'm here with Greg Stone from Rapid City, one of the members of the high school committee and integrally involved for many years working on this high school deal. They just ended up another round table discussion here, and I'm going to kind of ask you for your take on what's going on here.
Well, I think we're finally starting to get an understanding of all the local associations as to what's going to be involved in the sanctioning and moving forward with each school board to get their approval to bring schools on with sanctioning. And I think we're finding it's not going to be the easiest sell. I think we're going to have to do a selling project of both financially, volunteer-wise, to make it work in each school district. And each school district is going to be different, and that's what we're finding is ones may require travel be controlled by the school. Some may let them work the other way. Some may let you choose player fees. Some may not let you charge player fees. So each school is going to be different, and we've got to find a way to get everybody on board, hopefully, by January 1st, so we have a fully functioning sanctioned sport in South Dakota.
We keep hearing that some of the bigger schools around the state, Stevens, Central, all the public schools in Sioux Falls are just shaking their heads saying no about it right now.
Well, I think right now, and these school boards and superintendents are rightfully so. They're concerned about their budgets. I mean, it's going to be hard for them to sell to their constituents that they're going to bring another sport on when they're maybe having to let teachers go because of budget cuts. So it's going to be a tough sell. That's why soccer, I think we're going to have to work towards very aggressively fundraising to make it happen. But I think when you work at the cost per student involved in soccer, I think we can show to the school boards that it's a very economical form of activity for their students.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And I've heard a lot of people say that even using the model that soccer's been using to finance itself the last 8, 10, 12 years might be a good model for schools to take for other sports.
Yeah, when I way back in probably 96, 97, before soccer was even a high school sport as we know it now, I talked to one of the local athletic directors and he said it'll never be a school sport. Well, 2, 3 years later we had it as a school sport. Then, after about 5, 6 years after that, this same athletic director says soccer is the model where he thinks school sports are going to go in the future. So I think what we're doing is right, is having the school, the sport sponsored by the school, but funded by private entities. So
I think one of the issues that that some of the concerns of some of the people in the soccer community are going, if we have a soccer program, we don't want the shop teacher bidding for the job and trying to get it. But like Lowry said, well, that's going to be up to each school on how they choose their coach.
Yeah, I would hope that at least, and I'll just use the Rapid City, I would hope that the school board would work with Rushmore, RCWSL, the people that are knowledgeable about who is coaching, and both organizations have directors of coaching. I would hope that they would work with the local organizations to decide who should be the best coach for these teams, and and hopefully find the best player. Because I'm not going to put a shop teacher down, but I would prefer to have a B licensed coach doing teaching my kids in high school soccer.
Absolutely. Well, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think that you're going to be putting workshops together for associations to approach their school, or what do you think the next step is for so many of these schools?
Well, I think a lot of them, I think the high school committee, I don't think we've done a really good job as of yet giving the tools to each of the associations, a checklist, here's what you maybe need to do, A, B, C, D, E, F. And I think we got to develop a little bit more of that as we're going. But just like our option 3, which was the 5-year plan, that just got kind of approved by the high school association just 2 weeks ago. So it's even things have changed as we go. But I think we got to give each school, each association some better tools to approach their school boards. My gut feeling is we're probably going to have 30% school sanctioned next year, 70% sanctioned, and then I think the titles switch in 2013. I think a lot of schools are just going to wait and see what happens.
Well, hopefully they'll do one thing or the other, because I don't know how good the future is for having the deal split, especially for the high school.
No, I think at some point the South Dakota Soccer Association is going to have to phase out of providing high school soccer and maybe force the hand of the schools to bring it on, because it is a good sport, and it provides a lot of entertainment for parents, players, and fans too. Well,
not to switch the subject on you, Greg, but we got some really good news here recently about School of Mines putting in a men's program over there. That's got to be making a lot of the people who have been missing college soccer for a few years really happy.
Yeah, I think the soccer community, I don't think it's totally out and been discussed with the soccer community, but with Tech bringing on a men's soccer program, I think it's going to give to our youth programs a boost that we had several years ago when NAU had a team, because we had we had college players in the community, and our youth programs, those college players would go out to some of our practices, and it really gave some role models at a higher level to a lot of our younger players, and I think it's going to be a real benefit to the community to get behind a program of that level.
Well, I'm sure just like so many of these other important projects going on, you're going to be involved in that, so we're probably going to be checking in with you time to time just to see how the progress is going.
Well, I hope so, and I hope there's progress.
Greg, thanks very much. Been a great friend for many years.
Can I just say one thing? There's nothing greater, as a former coach, and you don't have to use this if you don't want to already, as a former coach, when a player comes up to you and says, "Hi, coach," that's an honor. I think you feel the same way.
That's the greatest honor you could have.
There's only one person I call coach. Thanks, coach.
Thank you, Greg.